Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Well, here we are. The 1994 Illuminati card game that spelled out the next 30 years of U.S. history. I want you to look at the cover of this playing card deck. And as you can see here, it is the hand of the puppet strings. Very similar to what we see in iPetco 2. I don't know if anyone's made this connection yet, but this is the first thing that kind of jumped out at me in reference to similarities between two different works of supposedly fiction that came true. In one case, the card deck that is manifesting as we speak. We're going to be going through each and every one of those cards in the deck today, updating everyone on everything coming to pass. And in a cartoon, which was supposed to be a fictional cartoon that released in 2012, iPetco 2, which also disclosed a lot of stuff. So there's a connection between this animated film and the card set, isn't there? And this is what we're going to get into today. Now, I believe that equipped with the information that we now know, I have a feeling that we're going to break some stuff wide open today. This is going to be an interactive show. I'm also going to have your chat up next to you. You won't be able to see it on here, but I'll have your chat next to these cards. And I want to hear your feedback on these cards and things that have come to pass. Now, I put also a link to this playlist that I put together of previous decodes that we've done on specific playing cards from this deck, as well as other playing cards that came out. There was a new playing card set that came out similar to the Illuminati cards. This was 5 years ago. We did a decode on that. That is very, very important as well. And some of their tarot cards, we don't read tarot cards here, but they do, and they manifest this stuff through their cards, right? So this is a playlist we put together. Hopefully many of you already watched this to get caught up on today's show, because we'll be reviewing some of those today. Now, I didn't really prepare any show notes today because I wanted to look at these together. I haven't even looked at these cards until now. So we're going to see these together. Now, you guys know I like to zoom in on the details of these cards and things. And so this set that I found here, let me check in with you guys, make sure you guys are with me, make sure we're still live. Okay, very good. Looks like you guys are starting to filter in here, and we're going to get into this card set. Now, I found this card set here on Facebook, and it's mixed in with some other stuff, so we're going to kind of skip around the other stuff, but we all recognize the format of the cards. They have this washed out look, kind of, so we'll be zooming in on some of this stuff and breaking these cards down one by one. Let me pull up your guys' chat so I can see you guys. Cool. I can see you guys here. Very, very cool. All right. Good morning. Hey, Joe, Betsy, Viken. Welcome, everybody, and good morning. Let's get into these cards now. What is this? 18.5-minute gap. Some kind of film reel with the Illuminati triangle on the front of it. And we've broken down the spiral, haven't we? Spiral, which is a reel, which is yo-yo, which is the Saturn ring. The outer ring is actually a spiral. It's not a ring at all. It spirals around. And we've looked at this and realized that this is some kind of portal, because spirals are portals, aren't they? And through the portal of film, they're actually even able to mind control people, aren't they? Look at this one, air magic. Now, we all know what this is. Weather warfare, controlling the weather. This guy's like a red cape on. What else is going on here? Almost biblical in this particular card, isn't it? Plan B, we all know what that is. That is, human sacrifice through the sacrifice of children. Look at this one, American Medical Association. The deal with death. This one resonates with what's happening right now, because the doctors have made a deal with death, haven't they? I think everyone can agree that that is absolutely happening with everything we just went through. An offer you can't refuse. Place card at the beginning of your turn. You may draw 2 extra plot cards. So this must be like blackmail. This is how they control the elite, or people that don't want to play ball, right? Angel's Feather. Have no idea what that's about. But we all know this one. Julian Assange. Everybody's seen this one. What are these roses in the background? Like flowers? Is that like death? Maybe like a funeral? Oh yeah, there's a casket back there. So essentially that has come to fruition. Trump did not have Julian's back, even though in the beginning of his campaign, he talked about how great he was in the WikiLeaks, and then all of a sudden, man became haunted down. So this all has come to pass as well. Now, it's funny, this next card, we just had an annual convention, didn't we? Yes, we did. Davos. And this card says annual convention. And apparently this is what's going on at these conventions. What is this? The Shriners hats. So this is like a catch-all for all of their little gatherings. Bohemian Grove, the whole thing. Anti-nuclear activists. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. The Janus-headed activist outside of some kind of facility. Are we having fun yet? So this is the programming, right? The erosion of humanity. And all of this is being pushed, believe it or not, from the top down. The people that are involved in some of these things don't understand that, but it actually is coming from the top down. Ark of the Covenant. Write down the name of one of your groups and put it under the card. That group is destroyed. Reveal the note. The group that destroyed it also destroyed, unless it was in Illuminati. So, Ark of the Covenant. Here's Backlash. Now, a lot of people thought that this particular card was probably Obama. I wouldn't disagree with that. You know, especially given the fact that Obama's vice president is now the president, right? So you could make the argument that this card could represent the second coming of Obama through Biden, right? And there is a lot of backlash, isn't there? Next card, Assertiveness Training. They've got a elderly woman here with a gun, with a walker. So, what else? Keep going here. Let me go into the chat here and see what you guys, if you guys have any other input on those cards. They use that game for black magic. They already know what they're going to be doing and who. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. RBS Truth. Abomination says redeemed by it's a woman. Trudeau must go, says Marcy. All right. So here's BATF. What does this stand for? What is BATF? Do you guys know? Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Well, what does the B stand for? Oh, beer. Beer, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. So it's basically depicting here that they're the ones doing all the dirt. And like probably false flag is inferred here. As this building's on fire back here. Bank of England. You may exchange this group's action for 2 plot cards at any time. So they've got like this mythic figure here, this woman at the ATM getting out cash. Is she like the Whore of Babylon maybe? Possibly. That's what that could be there. Bermuda. Oh, those aren't the cards there. Okay, so Bigfoot. All right. Will there be some kind of Bigfoot revelation? You know, they're already admitting that UFOs, or saying that they're real or whatever, right? So that would be interesting if they claim that there was some race of giant, shaggy beings were walking around in the forest. Now, I'm not opposed to thinking that might be the case, but you got to understand these people are all about distraction and diversion. So even if there wasn't, they could make something up and dress up and pretend. Well, what would be the purpose of that? Well, it would be to scare people, right? Scare people from living in the woods. This one says big media. And it's got the TV, of course, and everyone's listening to what the media says on this car. Bjorn, I love you all. Ho ho. Beloved by children, detested by adults, the Viking dinosaur has a +4 for direct control of any media group. So what would this be? Like mind control of like animation or maybe children's TV shows? Could be the case here. Now this one's no room for interpretation here, right? Bill Clinton, obviously, with a collar on, being controlled, flipping his coin, which is absolutely the case. I don't know how he got out of going to jail, but he did. This one is self-explanatory. Black activists. Obviously, this would be BLM, right? The black activists. Blood, toil, tears, and sweat. So, what would this guy be? You guys have any ideas on this one? Is this some kind of preacher? Or is this a politician? He's got the bow tie here. Let's see what your guys' thoughts are on this one. Okay, I'm just reading in the chat here. He's got a dog collar on. Did you see that, guys? Yeah, he had a dog collar on. Husband swears Bigfoot lives in Moon Lake. Who is this guy right here with the bow tie, do you guys think? Churchill, Kissinger, okay. All right. So, and this is all about patriotism, right? They want us to believe that sacrifice is required for freedom. What's this? Botched contact. Use this card when a rival plays a group for an automatic takeover. He must return that group to his hand and pick another card for automatic takeover. Okay. This one's bodyguard. Play this card after any type of assassination. Brazil. Natural resources of Brazil give 1 extra action. So, there are a lot of companies doing business in Brazil, you know, taking the natural resources. So there's probably a whole thing going on down there with that. This one says boy sprouts. So they see children as fruits and vegetables, don't they? And so this is probably a place where they go to harvest. And we've all seen the disclosures happening in the Boy Scouts. I guess, when did that happen? In the 90s, 2000s? Where all that came out about what was really going on in the Boy Scouts. Cable TV. It's got everyone distracted, obviously. Everybody watching the television, being programmed. CIA. Watching us and not them. Cattle mutilators. So this card suggests that there's a group of people going around mutilating cattle so that they can, you know, pretend like UFOs did it or something. What's this about Canada? Direct control of any green group. You know, you'd be shocked. Canada is wide open space with lots of natural resources, but there are a lot of environmental rules in Canada of things you can and can't do. So maybe that's what that card is about. CFLAIO. What is this? Truckers on strike. Long haul strike. Could this be like truckers? The truckers in Canada? That surrounded the capital there? Could be. Here's the CDC. Now, this is a popular card. A lot of people know about Centers for Disease Control. And basically, it's inferring that they're the ones creating the disease, right? And then the cure. Here we have another charismatic leader. All you see is the back of his head, though. It's hard to tell who this person really is. Church of Elvis. So a lot of people still interested in Elvis, worshiping him as a god almost, maybe? Is that what that's probably inferring? Citizenship Award. These would be people completely sold out to the idea of being recognized for something very empty, thinking that that somehow matters in life. And they're all happy to get their Citizenship Award. Clone Arrangers. Now this one's interesting. Tank 23, it says, gives +4 on any attempt to control a personality by replacing them with a clone. We were just talking about this yesterday in yesterday's show. We decoded the 6th day about Arnold Schwarzenegger and a clone. They're trying to kill the clone to erase the evidence, right? Well, here is a card suggesting that some of these personalities are replaced by clones, which I tend to agree with. Combined disasters. So many things going wrong at once. You guys, we just went through basically an ice freeze that took out power to entire regions. Now, when you combine that with something else, that's when you get chaos. So these are things to kind of look out for. Look at this one. Cold fusion. Now, they just announced that they were able to create energy out of cold fusion, didn't they? So this card is very timely. Wait a minute. That lady looks familiar. Let's see. Cold fusion discovered. Let's see if the lady matches up announced with the card. Wouldn't that be a trip? Okay, so this just happened. U.S. announces nuclear fusion energy in December of 2022. Right? So this card is happening now. Let's look at the images of who made this announcement. Oh my goodness. Let's do a side by side. Love the zoom feature. Let's pull her over here. Whoa. Whoa. Look at the eyes. It's her, you guys. Let's zoom in. Whoa. I told you guys there were going to be some bombshell revelations today. We've announced cold fusion. And remember, the first words out of her mouth were that this was important for defense. Remember, it was all, she like already weaponized it. What the heck? This might have to be our thumbnail image. Look at the eyes. It's all in the eyes, you guys. Are you guys seeing the same person? I'm seeing the same person. Cold fusion and out. So we have a card confirmed. Now, of course, this lady has a short cropped hair. It's not exact, but the cards are about likeness, aren't they? Because there's another card in here that looks a lot like Trump. It's not exact, but it's the likeness of Trump. All right, what else do we have here? Computer security. Now, we just read an article a couple weeks ago that said that they are going to basically take a copper coil, put it on top of people's head, and use them as essentially batteries for 6G technology. And so that's what this card reminds me of, computer security. With these wires attached to this person's head. Wires are made out of copper. It's not coiled, of course, but you get the gist. Maybe coils around the neck, like a collar of some kind. Who knows? Commitment. Let's look at this card here. What is this about? Commitment. The resistance for any one group is increased to 8. Link this card to your chosen group. Playing this card is a free move and may be done at any time. So basically, this is corruption working with cops. Groups working with cops. Oh, is she handcuffed? She's handcuffed to a fence. I don't know. That's a little bit confusing. Congressional wives. You guys have any idea on congressmen's wives? Anything in the news recently? I'll wait for the chat to catch up as we discuss that. Yeah, that was a cop, Silverlace. Let's see here. Congressional wives. It's about putting us in a psych ward. Body snatchers, pods, protesting, Pelosi. Maybe the woman was blonde in her youth. Yep, for not following the rules. Stuck on the fence. Oh, okay. Hey, that's good. Stuck on the fence. So, commitment. So you have to choose what side of the fence you're on. Good job, you guys. What about congressional wives? Means they're... All right. She was handcuffed on the fence about being a traitor. Pelosi's husband. Okay. McConnell's wife. Oh. Bush Barbara. Handlers. Oh, okay. So the wives could be handlers. I like that theory. Which brings us to our next card, conspiracy theorists. Now, what this suggests here, there are people out there who are like moles, that they're just put out there to confuse people or throw everyone off the trail with his graph chart here. Right? Muddy the waters. I was watching one of my favorite channels yesterday, AE for 9/11 Truth. I love their work, but the work isn't complete unless you also look at this stuff, you know, all of their programming in the media. Now, I don't expect them to be pros at this stuff, right? But don't condemn it and say that this is distracting people, because people need to see all of it. Yes, some people do stretch the truth, but I think we've established clear patterns throughout their entertainment media that exposes them, like yesterday's show, for instance. They had all the 9/11 programming before it happened. And you can't discount or discredit that. It has to go along with the science that shows the demolition was controlled, right? The two go hand in hand, because these people are occultists as well. I mean, what thing would even drive someone to take down those towers if it wasn't for the occult and all the stuff we uncover? That would have been the driving force behind it. So I was a little disappointed to hear the guy at AE 9/11 Truth, like, basically shame all of us for uncovering this stuff, saying that it doesn't really matter and they should only stick to the science. So that bothered me a little bit, but I still love their work, and they do expose the science behind the impossibility of the official story being believed. So I will give them credit for that. I always will, no matter what they say about us. But, ooh, look at this one. Count Dracula. Now, this is weird, because who just became the King of England? A descendant of Count Dracula, right? Let's see if there's any clues here. Dracula has 10 plus on any direct attempt to control the vampires. The Count cannot be destroyed unless a magic group or card is used. What if there's some kind of component to this where after King Charles is crowned, that he somehow controls all of the, let's say, bitten people who've been bitten around the world with some kind of frequency, right? Think about it, you guys. Bats go off of sonar and frequency, almost like 5G. And they're controlled by Dracula. They're controlled by Batman. He sends and controls the bats. And if this was supposed to be a bat virus with a bat cure, what's to say these people aren't going to be swarming like bats and being controlled by these people? These are just thoughts, but I believe all of this is for a reason. You always see these swarms of bats being controlled in these movies. All right, corruption. So we all know this is going on. Look at this. Ooh, it says cure in the back of this truck. And they're going through the wall. Whoa. So like Trump's wall, the cure, he made the cure, right? Corruption. Let's see what it says here. The black market in relief supplies is growing daily. Corrupt local officials steal the supplies, and no new relief may be attempted for that area until after the next turn of the person's playing card. The border. It's kind of weird. Counterspell. Counter revolution. Crop circles. Currency speculation. Cyborg soldiers. Cycle gangs. Now this one's interesting because we had bikers for Trump, right? The cycle gangs. Hordes of bikers are rampaging and looting, adding to destruction. Well, they didn't do that. So that's probably doesn't apply. They kind of wanted to be the opposite of BLM. It was kind of a counter force that wasn't burning stuff down, right? What is this? Diesel engine. Now, this is interesting because, whoa. So this card looks as if it predicted the reversal of the cost of diesel fuel. Remember diesel used to be cheap? Well, look at this. It says reverse. So now diesel's more expensive. It's got a diesel engine. But why do they spell it like that? Diesel is spelled incorrectly. Play this card at any time to make any gadget resource run backwards, destroying itself. Its owner must discard it. Interesting. Here's the death mask. We all know what that is. When you put the mask on, it's the beginning of death, right? Whoever wears it can see a slightly different world through its staring eye holes. And when the mask is removed, the different world is the true one. So as soon as you put on that mask, you go over into the world of fear, don't you? And it becomes your reality. Deep Agent. What's this guy? Deep Agent. What's this about? He's got like ear piercings. I don't know who that is. Who do you think this guy is, you guys? Now, I think we're probably about halfway through these cards. Let's see what your thoughts are on the Deep Agent. Who this might be. Let's let the chat catch up here. Ski mask culture. WWF masks. FBI Bieber. Oh. Kind of does look like Justin Bieber, doesn't it? Rod Stewart, Roddy Piper, Milo. Definitely isn't Kanye. Huh. That guy is a British billionaire. Milo. Okay. So, Deep Agent. Now, what's this? Is this a fingerprint? Kind of hard to see. So there are deep agents out there, obviously. Now this one says Democrats, the golden calf. Worshipping at the golden calf. Wow. Who are these two people? Is that Pelosi? Who's this guy? Worshipping at the altar of the golden calf. Keep going. Deprogrammers. Okay, so this is what happens to the celebrities. This is kind of like what happened to Britney Spears. They basically have to deprogram them. Look at this. She's in, that looks almost like she's in some kind of airplane or a capsule. Huh. Like in space, outer space, I don't know. Dictatorship. Now, this almost to me looks like them mocking the fact that we believe our media. And if they call somebody a dictator, they're a dictator. So you see all this is exaggerated, right? He's almost like a cartoon character. He's not even real. Can't see his eyes. Our media just makes up whatever they want. They call whoever they want to be a dictator, and we all believe it and are manipulated by it. Here's the Druids. Apparently that's a group. EFF has +4 for direct control of any computer group. If the EFF helps to defend a computer group against attack, the total power spent by all defending groups is doubled. I don't know what EFF stands for. Electric frequency. Got a cowboy on there. Early warning. Play this card as a free move. After any disaster is played, it gives the target +10 to defend against that one disaster. Earth magic. Now this one kind of dovetails in with the druid thing, because here you see basically standing stones or circled stones, which we've identified as portals. Portals of possession. Seen these standing stones surrounding the history of Trump's mother, the stones of Callanish, and also the TV series Outlander, which features those very stones. 14 miles and 77 degrees from where his mother was born on the Isle of Lewis. So this is like Back to the Future right here on Samhain, the 5th of November. Here we have an earthquake card and an earthquake projector. So the ability to create earthquakes. We've seen a lot of that going on recently. Seems to be more prevalent. Earthquakes happening in weird places. And people examining that. Eco gorillas. So, to me, this infers that, they want us to believe there are eco gorillas out there, but really it's governments doing this to destabilize everything. Elders of Zion. We know who they are. We know who this group is, right? The T-Mud people running everything. Another Elvis card. Huh. And what does this say? It was him. It was him. Elvis was the power to distract any media group by making a brief public appearance. Wow. Now, this is happening now. Isn't this happening right now in the news? Emergency powers. Isn't there like a town being, under attack because of an attack on some African Americans? Is this happening now? I haven't really gotten caught up on the story, but there's some kind of race thing going on right now in the city here in America. Let's see if you guys want to mention that in the chat here. Thanks, Michelle. They worship the black sun. Greta. Emergency use authorization. Atlanta. Yeah, that's probably it. Thanks, Asa. Atlanta. Yeah, this is pretty much happening right now. Does this guy have a bow tie on? Are there riots going on over there or what? Atlanta, Georgia. So we're all these twins since we hit the 2000s. Black Hole Sun, National Guard. Atlanta riot. Let's do a search on Atlanta riots. Major cities brace for possible violence after Atlanta riots. Okay. Riots. Let's see if a guy with a purple bow tie shows up. I would like freak out. I would be like, really? Okay, so here's some images from the Atlanta riots. Let's see if anything dovetails. Remember, we just saw the card that we just covered a little bit earlier. The guy with dreads. Well, obviously this is the imagery. This is what they're projecting. So it goes to show you that it's all been pre-planned. An eye for an eye. Look at this. This is what's going on in Atlanta. Wow. Let's look at some of these other images here. Wow. Illuminati cards. I'm just going to type in purple bow tie just to see. Just to see what's going on. Guys, remember the umbrella was starting to be used as a symbol at some of these riots? And we were covering the umbrella and what it meant? What is this guy? You gotta be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. Downtown Atlanta protests over activist killing with 6 arrests. Who is this guy? Why does he have a purple bow tie? What does he have to do with all this? Oh my goodness. Let's Washington Post here. Let's see. Oh, it's not going to let us. It's got a paywall. Oh, brother. Who is this guy? You guys know who this guy is? Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Is that who this is? He died. All right, let's keep searching here. So it can't be him dealing with the protests if he's already dead, right? It's just weird how that showed up there. All right, let's move on. We don't want to get hung up on that rabbit hole. Let's keep going here. Empty V. Empty V. Like empty vessel? The group and all other media groups in your power structure are totally immune to attacks from straight groups. Empty V. Maybe empty TV. Empty TV. Here's another England card. T and an umbrella and a cane. It's pretty basic. Are you guys getting anything out of this? I hope so. Epidemic. Obviously, we just had a pandemic, right? Let's look at some of these bottles here. There's a big syringe there. Red Cross. There's a mask. Huh. Faction fight. Fast food chains. FBI. Federal Reserve. Feminists. And they've got a burning bra. Fidel Castro. Did he die yet? Is Fidel Castro dead? We got fiendish fluoridators. Trying to fluoride us to death. Here's the flat earthers. Now, you guys know I believe that probably the earth is flat, or generally flat-ish, right? But some people have divided the truth community over this. They're like, you have to make a choice. And if you don't talk about it 100 times, percent of the time, then you are not telling the truth, right? So it's become a thing where YouTube allows it, and some people are dividing the community. So there are certain people that only listen to people that believe the earth is flat and talk about it every day. They're in like a silo, and that's damaging to the community, right? Flower power. What's this about? So people who are into peace, peaceful groups. Flying saucer. Well, we all know that there's been UFO disclosure, right? Fjord Motor Company. What the heck? It's like blood on the ground or something. Fjord. I don't know what that means. Fraternal Order. That doesn't look like a real card. Freaking the Mundanes. Got a dragonfly tattoo on his chest. Full Moon. Fundy money. Fundi money. Oh, look at this. There's a cross on his thing there. Inferring maybe the churches or something. I don't know. Gang war. What's that about? Germany. Anything going on in Germany recently? That's the Berlin Wall, it appears. That already happened a long time ago. Girly magazines. Power for its own sake. Up against the wall. So basically, executions. Criminal overlords. Fratricide. That kind of reminds me of the, when they cut their hands in a ritual, right? They cut the palm of their hands. Which is what that one guy did. What does this one say? Hail Eris. Power to the people. The corporate masters. The hand of madness. Good polls. Now, this one's interesting because people are completely brainwashed by polls. They think polls are real. Polls are not real, you guys. They just basically make stuff up. Grassroots support. So this almost to me, I mean, these are obviously, what are these people? These are the religious group, the Quakers maybe, but it's representative probably of the evangelicals maybe. And that's where Trump got a lot of his support. He's now starting to shame that group, saying they're not supporting him. Gremlins. We decoded the Gremlins movies, didn't we? Interesting. Gun lobby. Hackers. Hallucinations. The Hammer of Thor. Hat trick. Hawaii. What's going on in Hawaii? So they're above a volcano. Oh, look at this. They're throwing this guy into the volcano. Wonder if there's any people that have gone missing in Hawaii, like celebrities. Probably got thrown into a volcano. Hidden influence. Now this is interesting. This is Supreme Court, obviously. And we just had some huge Supreme Court decisions that they've made that are unprecedented, that have changed the course of America with the abortion ruling and stuff like that. But it's kind of smoke and mirrors. It's the illusion of huge change when no change really has actually happened, right? Because the states control all of this anyway. And what they're saying here is there's some kind of hidden hand behind all this, as I believe what that card is saying. Here's the hidden city. Hillary Clinton. What's she holding here? It looks like a lasso, maybe? What the heck? What is that she's holding in her hand? A lasso or something? A rope? Tying people up? Here's hit and run. On the license plate it says 235666. So this is how they take people out, hit and run. Hollywood. The show must go on, right? Hurricane. Lots of hurricanes. I lied. Imelda Marcos. Haven't heard her in a while. Her name come up. Imposter. So this suggests maybe a Manchurian candidate, a clone maybe. Imposter. This card permits you to play from your hand a personality which duplicates one who has been assassinated. You must also spend an action from one group with an alignment in common with the personality. Well, a lot of talk about JFK in the Q circles, thinking that he's still alive, or JFK Jr. is going to come back or whatever, right? So maybe that's what that card is about. Info ban. So basically, I think what this card is saying is the InfoWars was a controlled opposition whose sole purpose was to cross so many lines that they would ban free speech. And I believe he's done his job, because he did get banned, didn't he? Or so they want us to believe, right? So this card has come to pass. A 1994 card depicting the future. What does this say down here? Of the fall of Alex Jones. Can't really read that. Weird. Intellectuals. What's that about? Let's read this. I didn't understand that. It must be true. That's what people, you start talking words and circles around people and they just believe it. They're like, oh, it must be true because I don't understand what they're saying. Interference. So they got a crescent wrench full of blood. Someone got hit over the head or something. You may interfere with a privileged attack on either side. No other players may interfere unless they use other plot cards. International Weather Organization. Got some, they're dragging clouds around with a plane. The chemtrails. There's Israel. So it looks, obviously it's the Palestine versus Israel. Gives +8 on any attempt to control the Mossad. Israel has sympathizers everywhere. Israel can interfere in any attack regardless of alignment, even if it was privileged. So Israel has a lot of power, which we know is true today. Italy, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Italy loves artists, rebels, and madmen. Italy's power can be used to defend any weird group you control as a free move. Jihad, of course, that has all come to pass. Jimmy Hoffa. Junk mail. Drowning in junk mail, aren't we? And we went from mail in a mailbox now to junk mail in your inbox, didn't we? A lot of that. Just say no. What's this about? Just say no. What is this on here? Oh, that's a cash register. She's burning a picture of. Just say no to maybe consumerism. Throwing away all her stuff, burning everything. Play this card at any time to give +10 power or resistance to any stray group you control. Oh, the Just Say No movement with consumerism. I heard another channel just talking about this. People saying, don't buy anything. Ketchup is a vegetable. So obviously this is programming telling you that foods that they want us to believe are healthy are actually killing us. And there they repeat the number 23 again. 23 varieties on the label there. Kill for peace. Oh, against the cops. They're beating up this cop here. Kill for peace. Kinder and gentler. Now, one card they always keep in play is this KKK card. It's the counterbalance, right? To get people constantly in fear of a group that has absolutely no power anymore. Any power, any perceived power they may have is probably manufactured and created by our own government. They have to keep this fear in people of color, thinking that around every corner is a KKK member waiting to string them up from a tree, when it's simply not the case. L4 Society, what's this about? It's a person floating on balloons in a... Oh, so this is like virtual reality, maybe? They got their food there, and they're sitting in this like lawn chair, floating on balloons near a picket fence. Let's see what this says here. Gives +4 to any attempt to control or destroy any science or space group. Science or space group. Oh, this looks like they're almost... Oh, this is like a simulator. Like trying to feel like they're in space. They got a space helmet on. He's got a needle here ready to pop these balloons to control his height in the air. Of course, you have the lawyers. The one's making all the money. So this infers here that these are lawyers from both sides, and they're like friends hanging out, and they're both making a bunch of money off of people. Let's get organized. What is this? Huh. Two groups coming together. Liberal agenda. Libertarians. What are they doing? Libertarians. On the nose of liberty, and she's like looking at them. If libertarians involved in an attack to take control of any group away from government group, double the total power of the attack. Liquor companies. Why is there an elephant snout? Weird. With a huge advertising budget, this group gets +4 on any direct attempt to control a media group. Loan sharks. Don't want to get caught in debt in the last days, you guys, because they will have all the power over your life, take away your property, and make you do what they want you to do. Here's local police departments. Got donuts around his shotgun. Air freshener. This is inferring that the Freemason police departments are like rogue police departments. Loch Ness Monster. Probably another distraction. Logic bomb. Madison Avenue. You need more stuff. Manuel Noriega. Margaret Thatcher. Market manipulation. Martial law. Martyrs. Well, we know that the tanks, the Russian tanks, have the Z on them. These have X's on them, not a Z. Media connections. Media blitz. Media sensation. What's this about? Who's that guy? Hard to tell. Mercenaries. A lot of that going on in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, right? Messiah. So obviously this is the false Messiah. Meteor strike. Oh, here we go. The Moonies. Now, we did a lot of research on the Moonies, haven't we? Because Trump was associated with the Moonies. He actually spoke for them on 9/11. And their world headquarters is the building where Tesla died, the Wyndham New Yorker, where John Trump, Trump's uncle, collected Tesla's papers. So there's a really strong connection between Trump and the Moonies. So here we have a Moonies card. They're harmless, they're annoying, and they're watching every airport in the world right now. What's that about? Holding these flower powers. Now, the Moonies were renowned for mass weddings, which thousands of people showed up and got married. Look at the bald heads and the pointed ears of the Moonies. Next card is moral minority. Well, we were just talking about that yesterday. The death of the church in America. And basically, the moral minority is happening. Thousands of churches closing already, falling apart. Multinational oil companies, Murphy's Law, nationalization, Federal Department of Lunch. Nationalization. Kind of hard to understand this one. NATO. They've got straw man. Yep, okay, so this one applies to what's happening now. The NATO alliance, the whole Ukraine conflict, Russia. Big straw man, isn't it? Russia angry because NATO's encroaching, and NATO saying we're not encroaching. Nephews of God. Some kind of group here. Never surrender. So, more conflict between the cops and citizens. Now, some of these cards I've never seen before. New World Order, Law and Order. That's what Trump was saying, right? Law and Order. Here's New York. Those look like airplanes flying around King Kong. Violence. New blood. New federal budget. Kind of dealing with that right now, right? Talking about the budget. There's the flag. And what's that? Almost looks like another flag. And it's basically, it's a dump truck. They're just dumping money into the federal budget there. It's worth nothing. Nice idea. Now it's mine. So this is the corruption of, new ideas in America. Ninjas. Energy crisis. Well, that's happening. Crippling energy shortage affects power blocks worldwide. So, tax reform. Oh, wow, with a guillotine. People's heads on a spike. My goodness. Creepy. Tax reform. Let's read this one. In other words, tax increase. Well, that's what Biden is doing with the Inflation Reduction Act, right? All the taxes went up. No governor ever took its hand out of your pocket unless it had hold of your wallet. The IRS can now tax one plot card from each player at the beginning of their own turn. So basically we had the IRS agents, and they're coming for us. World War III. Some people argue that could be what's happening in Ukraine right now. Bigger business. That happened during the pandemic. All the small businesses got shut down, and the big businesses were empowered. They made record profits on the expenses of the non-essential businesses that were shut down, and they scooped up all that business. Don't forget to smash the state. Oh, okay, so what is this one? Let's get a little interaction going here with you guys. I don't want to give all the answers away. Don't forget to smash the state. What's this card about? Let's go into the chat here. This is amazing. 1994 cards, and they're all happening right now. What is smash the state? They've got, I'll give you a clue. Well, you can see what's on your screen. I'm not going to give it all away. But, what is smash the state? T-Man did that, shut down the biz. Well, he allowed the states to do it, technically. Washed his hands of it. But under national security, he should have forced America just to keep going the way it was. If they claim that they care about our economy, could have done that a different way. Yes, the statue, smashing the statues. You guys are wide awake. And this is happening right now. They're going around smashing all the monuments. And look, these monuments say George the Fourth, Lenin, and some other people, but it represents the monuments being smashed. Let's read this. It says, distrust of government is at an all-time high and society is crumbling. So another card that came to pass. Did we miss one? Let's go back up here. Oh, we got that one. New World Order, fear and loathing. This is about paranoia increases worldwide. Identical alignments now give 8+ attempt to control. Looks like some kind of construction worker. Got wrenches. Gun control. We obviously know this is happening. Peace in our time. Well, they're going to make it look like there's peace because the Bible says peace and security, and then the end will come. World hunger, OPEC, orbital mind control lasers. This is like voice to skull technology. Orbit 1. Paranoids. Payoff. Pentagon. Many people saw this was probably the Pentagon attack on 9/11. Petrol motion machine. So this would be like free energy. 27 scientists have gone mad so far trying to build another one. So, phone freaks. Pyramid marketing schemes. A lot of that going on. Plague of demons surrounding the capital. Whoa. Look at this. They're all like bat dragon things flying around the capital. Well, because that's what's in the capital, right? Plague of demons. Poison. This would be someone probably committing suicide because they knew that people were after them or something. Assassination. Inferred in this card with the poison inside the ring. People being poisoned. Pollsters. All over this woman voting. Huh. Alright. Population reduction. The cloud over the city. Post office. Now, this is interesting because we've been talking about the post office, haven't we? And they had some secret program that was uncovered where they were spying on people like us. Remember that? And we got our clue about that when we watched the movie with Tom Cruise called, what was the name of that movie? Where basically they were the post office. They showed up to people's door and their addresses. They could find their exact address and they could see a crime before it happened. It was pre-crime. Right? Well, here it shows the post office. Now, I don't even know if this is a real card because this looks weird. The format's weird. So maybe that's not even a real card there. Power corrupts. Principia Discordia. I don't know what that is. Privatization. Privileged attack. Professional sports. He's catching a bag of money instead of a football. Pulitzer Prize. Punk rockers. Purge. That's happening now, isn't it? Read my lips. No new taxes, right? There's one on the recording industry. Red Cross. Let's see what this one says. The Red Cross gives your whole power structure a +6 to resist any disaster. A group that directly controls Red Cross automatically gets relief at the end of its turn. It is devastated. The Religious Reich. Reorganization. So we've always talked about the right-left paradigm being like a chessboard, haven't we? And here they've got the pawns on the chessboard. Here the Republicans are also worshiping at the altar of the elephant in this case. Not the golden calf or the golden mule or whatever. So here's the Republican card. So there was a Democrat card and a Republican card. Resistance is useless. Rewriting history. Robot sea monster. Rogue boomer. Ronald Reagan. Oh my goodness. We got ourselves another doozy. Okay, you guys ready for this one? Why is Ronald Reagan on this 1994 card and there's a monkey behind him? This actually came to pass. We'll look it up. Let's see who gets it though in the chat. Unbelievable. This is a 1994 playing card. What's the significance of this card here on the screen? Yes, they are sick freaks, Marcy. Let's play it. Let's put her comment in there. There you go, Marcy. Okay. Did you guys see the Hydra? Oh yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Completely missed that. This is crazy, you guys. Okay, let me look it up because I don't think many of you heard this story. Let's see who gets. Someone's gonna get it. Monkey business. He's talking to the moon. Monkey one for the gripper. Monkey in space. Nope. Oh man, they really didn't. This story really didn't catch any traction, did it? So Reagan was caught on a phone call. Watch this. Another doozy. This was 2019 when this broke. This is New York Times. Reagan called Africans monkeys in call with Nixon in a secret recorded tape. Now, how nobody heard this? This should be mainstream. Should have been mainstream news. Well, it was. New York Times broke it. But basically, he was on a phone call and he called them monkeys. Let's read this. Ronald Reagan was the governor of California in 71 when he phoned the White House to vent his political frustration to President Nixon. According to newly released audio recording, he called African people monkeys in a slur that sparked laughter from the President of the United States. You guys, this just broke in 2019, yet here it appears in 1994 on an Illuminati playing card. Where'd it go? That's what this has to mean. There's the phone, Reagan, and a monkey. And what's that in the background? Oh, that's just the top of his chair. Unbelievable. Rosicrucians. Let's go on to the next ones. We all know who they are. Ross Perot. That happened. Why I'm rich and why you're not. Russia. SMOF. Now, a lot of people think that this is Alex Jones here on this card. I've heard people say, and this could be what's his name? I don't know. Who do you guys think these people are? Is that Alex Jones? And the independent guys, maybe. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that only Reagan was a racist. All these people are. And it's not against color, it's against all of us. We are the have-nots and they are the haves. This is how they feel about all of us. They have slurs for white people too, that are poor. So don't get it twisted. Tucker and Jones. Tucker Carlson, okay. Dumb and Dumber. Rush Limbaugh. Oh, okay, Rush Limbaugh, maybe. Ron Paul, yeah, that's what a lot of people thought this guy on the right was, is Ron Paul. So it's all just a game. What does SMOF mean, though? Smoff. I don't know. Let's keep going here. Sabotage. Saddam Hussein. Saturday morning cartoons. Marketing to our children. Look at the, it's like a monkey hand or a demon hand or something. Telling a child to buy. Save the whales. Savings and loan. Probably the savings and loan scandal. Your scandal. Two people caught in bed together. Secret Service. Seize the time. Senate Investigating Committee. How many times have we been through a Senate Investigating Committee and nothing happens? Nobody goes to jail. It's just a show. Shroud of Turin. Silicon Valley. Here's some Soul Burner. Spasm of Violence. Spear of Longinus. So this is the Spear of Destiny here. We talked a bit about this, haven't we? Unique magic artifact, they're calling it. Artifact, both sacred and cursed, can be used as often as you wish. Okay, so we've compared the Spear of Destiny in its dark side version of it being the spear in the chest, the serpent in the chest, right? Because for everything that God does that is good, there's a dark counterpart. So the spear in the chest is spirit possession. Stock split. So this has to probably do with them having insider trading knowledge and just getting rich off of it while the rest of us suffer. Here's a Stonehenge card. Straighten up. Subliminals. Okay, so we've seen this kind of manifest since the 90s. We've seen, look, it says sex right there in the ice cream and sex inside the ice cubes. And so we've seen a lot of people uncover like a lot of the Disney subliminal programming, showing all the subliminals that were hidden in that stuff. Sucked dry and cast aside. Suicide Squad. Supreme Court. Survivalists. Sweeping reforms. Big broom. Sweeping everything. Switzerland. Tape runs out. Tabloids. Telephone psychics. Okay, we're down in the T's now, so we're getting close to the end. Telephone psychics. Templars. Terrorist nuke. Now everybody knew that this one was probably about the Twin Towers getting hit. They compared it to that. Right? That's a famous one. That's probably one of the most famous Illuminati cards that predicted an event that had not happened yet. Here's Texas, and it looks like they've got cattle that is being controlled by 5G. Now, we had decoded this card because there was actually a real network that was controlling cattle in Texas that we had found. But after what we've learned, now I'm realizing we are the cattle. And this is what they want to do to us. Put antennas on our head and control us through these towers. And that's probably what this really means. It's got the 6 and the 6 here. 66. And it says, you wouldn't believe what's hidden in the miles and miles of Texas plains. They're counting on that. You may place one plot card. Accept a goal under Texas. It does not count against your limit. It cannot be exposed. We are the cattle to them. Here's the Great Pyramid. The Auditor from Hell. Wow, that's happening now with the IRS. Auditor from Hell. Wow, make your life a living hell. The Big Score. The Bronze Head. The Holy Grail. The Internet Worm. Men in Black. Done a lot of work on Men in Black, haven't we? Oh, wow. The Oregon crud. This is the mold that we've been talking about. I just saw someone comment on Oregon and said everything is covered in this weird substance, like mold-like substance in Oregon. So here we have a card. Now this is purple. It's not green. Let's read this one. This is probably important. Well, many years ago, like 30 years ago, I thought I wanted to move to Oregon because I thought it was free there. Well, Oregon has become a much different place, hasn't it? It says this is an instant attack to destroy any place except a huge one. It does not require an action. Its power is 24. Wow. The stars are right. What? Obviously, this is like astrology. Tidal wave. What's this about? Water looks green. Tidal wave. Time warp. Oh, like warp speed. Let's see what this is about here. Zoom this one up. See if we see any clues in here. They've got a ruler. A broken watch. Time warp. And like a television. Let's read this one. Let's try that again, shall we? Play this card immediately after any successful die roll by any other player. Tobacco companies. You know, it's interesting. They talk about, particulates in the air, but they don't ever say anything about cigarette smoke in the air, do they? They want to let you smoke, even though they claim to care about the environment. Tornado. We had a lot of tornado outbreaks, haven't we? Trading card games. Well, we just had Trump's trading cards, didn't we, come out? You control all trading card games, including this one. Therefore, at any time during your turn, you may take any other group card from your hand. So remember the NFT cards. So that's interesting. Trekkies. TV preachers. A lot of that going on. Underground newspapers. United Nations. Unmasked. So yeah, the Illuminati are taking their masks off, aren't they? Now this one infers, like, a lot of people have been doing research on Biden, and some people looked around his neckline and they thought he looked like he was wearing a mask. Well, maybe there's some truth to that, because this is a realistic looking mask and they're unmasking themselves here. Here's a card on the Vatican. Of course, you got to have the Vatican, right? Volcano. Volunteer aid. Voodoo economics, which is basically made up economics that don't make any sense, like Biden's new plan, his Inflation Reduction Act, which the acronym is IRA. And in the act, they actually raise your taxes on your IRA accounts. Voodoo economics. Voodoo-nistas, this one says. Getting toward the end here. Now, we coined the term visual voodoo to explain Hollywood's basically depicting reality that hadn't happened yet, shaping that reality through entertainment, and then that reality coming to pass is a form of visual voodoo. Vultures. Wall Street. Weather satellite. Lots of umbrellas in this one, isn't there? That doesn't look like a real card, though. It's got some weird format. This one says witch. Withering curse. Oh, could this be what happened when you get poked? People begin to wither away slowly. Turned it. This is like the zombie apocalypse almost right here. And that's the end of it, you guys. The Withering Curse. This says assassination, though. So this was. So I guess we could be looking for celebrities that just look like they're starting to wither away. It's a Withering Curse. Wow, what a trip! All right, so that's it. Now I'm gonna open up the chat here for anyone that wants to, talk about some of this stuff. Let's go back in here. Oops. Let's restore the chat here so we can all see. Thanks everybody for showing up. We've got a pretty big crowd today. We just went through every single Illuminati card ever made and examined them and basically talked about any connections to the present. All right, I'm back in the chat here. What's new today, says Joe. The Smack the Nation. Celine Dion withering away. Oh, there you go, Elizabeth Alley. Could be. Could be. Yeah, you see these celebrities coming down with these weird illnesses and they just start to fall apart, don't they? Where are these cards located on the web, please? I'll put a link to the ones that I just went through. This was a Facebook post. Someone put all the cards together. So I'll put a link to that in the pinned comment for you guys. I'll also put a link to the card decodes that we've done in the past in the playlist. I'll put that in the pinned comment. Just give it like 15 minutes after the show. And I'll put that in there for you guys. All right. Thanks, Ed. A lot of this work was just all of you guys and your input. You know, I always tell you guys, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. Most of you are smarter than me, but I'm just here. I'm the kind of like the DJ, I guess, putting it all together. And then you guys, all your input is what unlocks all of this stuff. What about the tape runs out? That must be the end of the story. You know, maybe at that point when the tape runs out, remember the tape really is a portal, isn't it? It's spiraled film. Film is like the veil covering all of our eyes. And they just keep running the tape. And that keeps deceiving everybody, putting them to sleep, making them make choices that make absolutely no sense, like go getting the pokies, right? And so when the tape runs out, that must be when their psyop is up, when they actually stop trying, maybe. And it's like the end of it. Or maybe their work is complete and they've thoroughly deceived everybody. So, you know, another person we could say has the wasting disease would be like the guy from Die Hard, Bruce Willis. And interestingly, his last role before he came down with basically some kind of disease where he can't speak anymore, his last role was Swan Song. And the Swan Song is a swan not being able to speak. So it actually played out in his life, which I thought was kind of interesting. Yes, Biden is wasting away. That's another one. Good job, Texas Jelly Bean. Absolutely. Yep. With every, press conference he does, he just gets worse and worse. He's literally wasting away. Did I ever decode the fifth element? I think I did. To find that link to that. All right, you guys. Well, this was kind of a long show, so I'm going to pop off here. We'll be back on here tomorrow. Well, actually, Sunday. We're going to be doing a live screening decode of the 1980s Mork in Wonderland from the TV series Mork and Mindy. Now, I found a copy of it on YouTube here. It was a free copy. You don't have to pay for it. So I figure it's something we could probably play live. It's like 45 minutes long. Mork in Wonderland. We're going to break down the symbolism. There's a lot of stuff that had not happened yet that seemed to be predicted in that 2-part episode. I have not watched it all the way through. I watched like the first 10 minutes. And already it was talking about an energy crisis and switching to alternative fuels. So as we go through that on Sunday, you're going to see what I'm seeing. And I'm going to see what you're seeing. And together, we're going to decode Mork in Wonderland. All right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you on Sunday. Much love. Take care and be safe, everybody.